right there.
What up?
Hey, what's up, little
It's your boy Dove,
Jada Bull.
Big Stepper Podcast. We are here. We are back. We have two special guests here with us tonight.
Episode 4.
Yes.
Wait, 3.
3?
Episode 3.
Oh, damn, you moving fast,
My
nigga.
bad. It was like it's stepping along. It gets me going. All right.
You right.
Episode 3.
For sure.
Yeah.
To the left of me, we have a special guest.
What's going on, everybody? Happy to be here. Give y'all some game today.
Yes. Tell me your name, bro.
Yeah,
Right.
What's up, y'all? For those who don't know, my name is Najee. I'm a local entrepreneur here to support my brothers on this amazing podcast they got going on right now.
Appreciate that.
Right to the right of me, we got another special friend.
What's going on, y'all? This is Ty. Also know me on Instagram as Role Model Ty.
What's going on, Ty?
Leaving the name.
What's going on?
Yeah. How y'all doing tonight?
Shit, I'm doing good, bro. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. I gave us some action before the show, so I'm a little.
I know, right?
I'm a little-
I
I'm
know
doing
when
this a little
he
bit.
would say he talk a lot and he liked to talk, I was like, all right, well, but I mean, we probably get into it.
It's only right.
You
It's
know?
all right. How you feeling, Ty?
I'm straight, bro.
Ty been quiet, though. I'm ready to meet Ty.
No,
though.
Ty
What's
gonna jump
on,
into it,
Ty?
though. Ty just
Yeah,
trying to see what's going on.
I'm here for it.
He's feeling out. He's feeling out, man. We got a lot of shit to talk about, man. I don't know. How you want to jump into this?
I mean, let's just open the floor. What we
Yeah.
about what we talking about tonight? Because I mean, it's been a pretty boring week. We said so.
All right. So basically, I know these two gentlemen for 14 years plus now.
Dang, that's
So
a
we
long time.
like young teens to actually grown ass men right now.
freshman
Both
years.
making moves and shit, and I'm proud of them. So I just had to get them up here. I wanted to get them up here last season. The shit was just crazy, but we here now. Let my man G tell y'all a little bit about himself, what he got going on first.
Last season, was that during the pandemic or that was pre-pandemic?
Well,
It was like coming fresh, like well,
Yeah.
not out. It was like the coming out moment, like when everybody
Yeah.
was just starting to meet.
Okay.
everybody was getting a little. Things was, I won't say getting better because it's still fucked up. But
It was when the cases started, when everybody started coming back to work and shit like that.
Yeah.
All right, so y'all started like when it was like picking back up, but still shutting down.
Yeah, the spring. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like still trying to figure it all out.
Right.
I was just curious when y'all started the podcast. But so me, I'm 29 years old. How much y'all want my bio or how y'all want
All
me
right.
to
Hey, however you want to lay it out to him. You know what I'm saying?
Just give us on your profession, like
so
insight on what you do.
For those who don't know, I'm a local entrepreneur. I invest into real estate. I have a childcare business, a credit business. I'm really big on empowering the community, giving back while at the same time creating generational
And that was
wealth.
I'm sorry, cut you off, but that was how many businesses you named?
That's like 3 right there.
Like 3. How old are you?
Me, I'm 29.
29. All right, back.
I started entrepreneurship when I was 21.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You didn't waste no time.
I ain't
A
waste
lot
no
of
time. I went
people,
hard.
and that's like a lot of people main complaint is like, damn, I wasted time.
Yeah.
Like when they start, because at 20, not as like with a lot of people, that's they getting it together. You was able to get it together at a really young age. Like, what helped you do that?
So the thing for me was, and like you said, a lot of people have a hard time figuring out what they want to do, how they want to start, or maybe they think they have so much time where they can just, I can not necessarily play around, but I got time to figure it out, so I'm going to just coast through what I got going on until it's time to figure it out. And then by the time it's time to figure it out, you already done found yourself in so many different situations where now your present self is looking at your past self like, damn, why you ain't do better? So that was something I always was aware of at an early age. So with that, it was like I always worked hard. And Todd too. Todd worked really hard. He had like 3 jobs growing up. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was the first one to get a job, first one to get a car. Like, so having a friend like Todd and then having that still installed in me myself, it was like he got me my first job at Burger King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you was like, y'all was that early guys like in high school working. I
Exactly.
noticed those guys that was working in high school did become like I know a friend, like one of my main friends, he was the first one of all of us. Like you said, got a job, got his car, and now he got like 2 businesses that he run right now. So that's definitely like a sign early on. So
Yeah, because once the situation is it all determines on when you learn that the whatever it is
like
not
the
the
value
end
of
goal.
money and stuff.
Exactly, and how the sooner you can learn that,
Right.
the better off you can be. So it's like the outlier effect, right? I'm gonna tell you something, right? So hockey players, right? majority of hockey players. Now, don't get me mad, y'all who know the book if I'm misquoting it, but I'm just going to say it just so I can get it out there. When it comes to hockey players, right, majority of hockey players' birthdays start at a certain point because of the age requirements for hockey. So, like, same thing like kindergarten, right? Like, you know, if you're not born at a certain time, you can't start until you're 6. So, because these certain kids were able to play hockey 2 years before other kids.
I said this before. I said this about football players.
Exactly.
I had this about like how like your birthday being.
So
in
you
February,
already know where I'm about to
get
go.
a body advantage in sports.
Exactly.
Because you're older technically.
That, but it's also the situation that is only 24 hours in a day. There's only so many hours you can already practice, and we all, quote unquote, are starting at the same time. But I got a 2-year advantage of practicing and playing. Right. That's why when you look at the NHL, what is it, the NHL?
Yeah.
All their birthdays all start between January and February because those are the ones who played 2 years more than all the other kids.
Else. Exactly.
So it's that concept when it comes to having a job and understanding money. If you can start before everybody else, you figure out things faster than everybody else. So for somebody who's then start taking work serious at 26, can't compete with somebody who started at 16 and never stopped.
Right.
It's just not going to be the same situation. Even if that person never started a business or never wanted to go that route, their understanding of finances, saving, of course, you know.
And they took their L sooner.
Exactly. They messed up their money. You got curse on here?
Yeah.
they fucked up their bread. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. So, you want to speak on any of that, Ty? Like, we'll get you involved.
No. I'm
like,
rolling
speak on how your hustle is. Like, what made you hustle early? And he said you was working 3 jobs. Like, what is still that in you?
Niggas just getting it in.
Well, tell him about that Foot Locker situation, man. He was working at Foot Locker and somewhere else.
The fucking plug.
Yeah, so a little bit before he worked at Burger King, like he said, I was working at a young age. I want to say 11th grade, I was juggling Acme, Burger King, and Foot Locker.
Killing.
Nice.
I had the discounts crazy at Foot Locker, so everybody was coming to me whenever.
Right. How much off?
We had 30. 30 was regular, and then like we'll have like 3-4 times a year, 50% off.
Shit, that 50 was
releases though.
Shit, whatever they had in there,
popped
man.
On the 50,
yeah. For the releases,
Go get you some Nike
was
boots.
they doing that back then?
It wasn't as heavy.
Yeah, because I don't think like
the releases wasn't like that.
Yeah, it wasn't like that when he was working there.
It's like 2009, 2010.
All right.
I do remember one time going up to the mall.
So this was like Air Max 2009.
Yeah. Right. Either way, it's a come up.
Yeah.
It is it definitely sound like a come up.
I remember going up to the mall one time. Ty told me to come there. He had the 50% off joint. I think I needed some ball sneaks for the season. Right. Nigga, I got up there. It was a line of niggas up there for him. I'm like, damn.
Oh, wait for you?
Yo,
that wasn't
he
good.
was giving out the discounts.
I was a little like wondering like could that not get you in trouble? Because it seemed like that shit was for you and you like
today, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sure they made a rule for him. They changed it up.
I knew the manager there, so everything was cool. But yeah, like I always feel like if I can help, then I am. So
right.
If I
That's
can help
thorough.
the hood,
That's thorough as
everybody
hell,
got
bro.
it. Like
hell yeah.
Buy some socks on the side. You cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The GP. No, that shit was lovely, man. Especially at the time we ain't really had no bread.
The only dope discount I ever had was when I was at Toys R Us. And everybody wanted to use me for that discount. But they were strict as shit. I had to be at the register with them.
Y'all selling Madden in that joint?
Show ID. It was too much time.
Did they give you a limit of how many
I
people?
ain't no kids.
It wasn't like a limit, but it had to like be perceived for me. Like that's what I'm saying. That's why I was
Well, who
wondering
you
if
even know who got
trouble,
kids? Like, when
yeah,
you were a teenager.
like I had to be technically for me, so I
Or
would
your
have to
nephew
like
or
technically
something.
buy it, huh?
Or like your nieces and nephews, like who wants to utilize a Toys R Us discount? Like, yo, my
At the
favorite
wrong
at Toys
time.
R Us.
It was like aunts,
Right.
with kids, shit like that.
Yeah, you
coming
probably was
around.
real
You know,
important to the
like
family
homie
during
with
Christmas
kids,
time.
Like, I need a bite. Yeah, shit like that. But, I mean, most of the time, the motherfuckers didn't even use
Some sneaker stores was like
talking
that.
shit. You know how they, I don't know, like you tell them where you working. Like, oh, you work at Toys R Us? Let me get the discount. You know how they But most people didn't come up for that shit.
Maybe
Some
during
sneaker
Christmas.
stores was like that though.
Yeah, that's when they were. That's when when I worked there. It was
Yeah, you was everybody's favorite around that time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if I had a seat, I'd come at you. Hey, what's up, man? No, discounts back then though was different. Like now, I don't even know where to start. You know what I'm saying? But back in the day, I think the only store that really used to draw was Finish Line. Like you had to literally like have buy your size for you to get a discount.
Yeah, I think like the employee already had their
that's
list
strict.
of
That's
family
strict.
members.
So
and
you got-
size.
But it's real strict now. I don't think nowhere allow you for the most part
to do anything.
to do anything. Like
And
you
they-
barely get a discount for working
And,
there.
and they don't even be that popular. Like he said, ain't nobody nowhere getting you 50% of nothing.
Listen,
I don't
bro,
care how long you
that
work
shit was real, man. Like that 50% was different, man.
Yeah.
Especially having a couple of hours on you, man.
The
just don't know.
160s turned to 112 on a regular, like that was
Right.
with the 30%. So
That's where the Jordans was. The Jordans was 160,
everything was-
and it
yeah,
was
this was around
112 when you got the
160
30% off.
Oh,
I
man.
remember I went to get some Jordan 4s on Woodland Avenue. My other man was working at Foot Locker. Damn, good job. Tell us a little bit more about how you got started, especially with the early childhood, and then how you got into the credit.
Okay, so I got started with the child care center because I was what was I doing around that time? I had a job at Giant, so I was working at Giant maybe like early mornings. No, I was working at Giant from early afternoons to early evenings because I went to community college.
Right.
So I was going to Delaware County in the morning time. So I was at Delaware County from 8 to like 11 or 8 to 10. I would go to Giant from 1 to like 6. And then I would work overnight from, I don't know, maybe like, what was that, like 8 to 9? 8 to 8, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
something crazy.
yeah, but the typical work shift for overnight. So if it was like 8 to 6 or 8 to 7, it was whatever that
One of them
was.
crazy
I can't remember.
joints,
So that was my like everyday life. So and then I decided that I was going to leave Delaware County to get a trade because I felt like the school stuff was just taking too long. While I was still doing the 2 jobs, I then switched to go do what is it called? Dental assistant.
I remember that.
I went to go become a dental assistant,
Which is a good
and
gig.
it's a really good gig, and I wanted to be a dentist. I'm gonna show you why I had to stop doing it though. So look at my hand, right? You see that? Like you do it. I can't lift these 2 fingers separately. You try to do it. Like go like this, now go like this. Now just lift this finger by itself. You see how you can do it? I can't.
Oh shit.
So and that happened.
What happened?
I don't know. That's the thing. I never went to go get checked out.
Oh wow.
But it happened that literally happened while I was doing all that. So I'm going to dental school. I'm starting to do stuff with my hands, like hold the instruments, and out of nowhere, these fingers
Just locked up.
they locked up on each other where they move in sync.
It
So
might be like a arthritis.
it could, but it's the whole thing
Hope
where
not.
you know how definitely hope not. But you know how like you get sick, right? Or you're not sick, and you go to the hospital, and the doctor tell you you're sick, and then you die next week.
Oh.
I feel you. I feel the same way about that shit.
You
So
can't
you
tell
like
me.
if it ain't hurt.
It ain't hurting me.
Like,
Then fuck it. Like, you get what I'm saying? You're not going to tell me I ain't going to be in a coma next week once I go to the hospital.
Yeah.
So I don't break it up. I leave it alone,
It's
and
bad,
I
John.
just maneuver my life. So at that
Walk
particular...
by faith.
Yeah. I put it in God's hands. God got me. And he been showing me love. So, he wanted to tell me that my plans needed to be a little bit different. So, so I'm going through that. So, of course, I'm finished the program, about to get a job. I'm like, I'm dropping instruments. It's like, I can't figure it out. And at the same time, while I'm dealing with that, my mom has an in-home daycare, which I didn't mention on. So between doing the 2 jobs, I also, I would leave work from North Philly at like 7 in the morning. I had to go to before I went to school in Delaware County, I had to go home and pick up one of the kids that my mom had to daycare and take him to school.
Yikes.
So
Busy morning.
exactly. So my mom now I'm starting to fall. So when I started my internship and started moving forward, I fell back from the Giant job, and I only had the overnight job. So now my money was starting to be funny, and now I can't do the internship no more. And at this time, I done took on a car note. Like I done took on so many bills that at 18, 19, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, and I'm making good money, but I'm literally living paycheck to paycheck. So it was like, any hiccup in my situation was detrimental. So my mom was like, listen, like, won't you just say F all that? I want to get a center, and I need some help. I can either hire somebody. And this was my first time where I really understood what generational wealth was, like where basically, where I got the mindset, like I would never send my son to someone else's community looking for a job. I would supply him with a job before Now, this is like in a need-based sense, right? This is in a situation where you okay, baby?
You're right.
You all right?
I'm trying not to break, but I want to make sure you're good.
you okay, right?
All right.
All right. So, so we got that situation where I'll send my son to someone else's community to get a job to learn life lessons, to learn life skills, to learn what it's like to work in different environments. But I'll never send my son to another community and say, "Can you give him some money to support us?"
So you're saying this based off the fact that your mother was able to give you an opening to your next step.
But how she worded it is what instantly changed my mindset. Because this is what she said to me. She said, "All right, so I'm paying the car insurance. You know, I'm not charging you rent. I'm doing all these things. But if I have to bring someone else outside of our house to come help me do this, then that means they're taking resources from us, which means you have to now pay your car insurance. Which means you now have to pay rent." So when she started putting it to me like that, I said, why would I allow someone to take our resources when I'm already here and I can just contribute to what's going on?
Absolutely.
And me contributing to what's going on then turned to me becoming a partner in her business when she opened up a center.
And you know what's crazy about that? I feel like that's really lacking in certain communities, like that type of like morals and effort, like that. Because it's a lot of selfishness going on, and it's like at the end of the day, it can help, like, to be like, you know, you gotta do your own, but it's like to help your own, like it really doesn't really work like that. Like it really works by helping each other get there.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can get it on your own, but imagine if you didn't have, like if you had a step up, you could go even farther. Like whatever a person do on their own, imagine if they had more. You know, that could be even more. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand that, and I think that's like lacking. So that's what's up for your parents to have that type of.
Do you believe in memory DNA?
I kind of do. I don't know much about it, but I feel like you're saying like generate like DNA.
Like for example, right? How does a baby turtle know when to come out the shell to run from the beach to the water before the seagulls get it? It just instantly knows that that's his life mission the minute it come out.
Right. Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know much about it, but I feel like it gotta exist.
It's not a lot of that in the hood, for sure.
Right. But I asked you that for a reason, because to touch on what you said about, you know, how communities sometimes have a selfish mindset, right? And I believe that's just a side effect of this memory DNA that we just gotta. That's going to change when you as an individual make a change. It changes your DNA. Then it goes to your kids. It changes their DNA. And it's something that's happening because look at now with how more collective. While at the same time we still have what you said, but at the same time you on the other side of it, you see more people collectively coming together, trying to still build something. Or we even in the space where we're having this conversation where we're conscious enough to say, "Hey, this is what's going on."
Right.
But I say it to say that because to touch on why. You know, I feel like sometimes we are the way we are, which is very interesting. I feel
like you ever hear somebody be like, I was kicked out at 18, I had to do it, and they look at it, they wear it as a pride, and it can be looked at that way. But imagine if it wasn't looked at that way. Imagine if your parents instilled for y'all to do more. Like imagine what y'all can have, what your parents can have. Like I believe in that type of unity, like you just said. Like that
we're the only culture that glorifies coming from the bottom.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like with white people, it's not like that. Like they set them up with property, they set them up with equity, all type. You know, all type of stuff like trust funds. Like that's supposed to be something you strive for. So it's weird that is that type of mentality in the first place. Like I said, it's nothing wrong for getting yours from the mud. Some people have to do that, but a united family, you know what I'm saying, and a generational lift is definitely wanted and should be needed. Like, you know, it should be happening, like, at the same time.
I think we the generation right now, our generation, the millennials, we the generation to really
do that.
Going forward, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I know all my friends, most of my friends that have kids do have sons. So it was kind of up to us to, like, leave something for them. Not even leave something, but like you said, if I got a situation where I can have my son either work for me or work under me somehow or some way, then I'm going to make it, you know, happen to the best of my ability. Right. You don't want to have to send your son to work with this guy if you got your shit together and you got something going on. I mean, of course, at the end of the day, it'll be their ultimate decision once they get grown. But if you mold them while they're younger, by the time they get to a certain age, they probably don't want to go nowhere else. I want to carry on the family business.
But even if they do want to go somewhere else, it's not about that because that's not me sending them to go.
Right.
That's them seeking their own dreams.
Right.
Which is fine.
If you want to be an engineer, then
Right.
go to the community where the engineers are.
But just know that you always gonna have this to come
exactly.
back to. Yeah.
But don't go be an engineer because you got to worry about if I don't become like you know how some people are like, damn, if I don't become an engineer, if I don't become a doctor, if I don't get this high paying job, then my family is counting on me. You get what I'm saying? Like I was the one that was like, oh yeah, go to college. Yeah, you smart. You gonna make it. You get what I'm saying? So I felt like that's inappropriate to put those kind of, you know.
You ain't go to college?
Who me?
Yeah.
I did. I mean,
you did say you go to CPK.
yeah, I didn't finish
Right.
college. No. And the reason why I didn't finish college is because once I got into entrepreneurship,
You found your way to make it.
yeah. But not only that, I realized that the people who go to college are going to work for the person that I'm trying to be. And it was like, do I want to be the guy who works for the person I want to be, or do I want to be that guy? So I decided that, you know, I'll put my
all
more
the
energy.
billionaires happen to drop out of college. That's kind of weird.
The
right?
average millionaire got C grades in school,
Right.
and it either didn't go to college or dropped out of college. But everything has the exception because you have billionaires who were fucking smart as shit and went to college, got master degrees. So you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's the
It's
whole
leveled
thing.
out.
But the person who got the degree would tell you that they had a goal, like a doctor. A doctor went to college because he wanted to be a doctor.
Right.
He made millions, opening up his own practice, and then he took that millions and invested in real estate. And now he's a real estate mogul with a doctorate degree because he looked at school as a business from the rip. I feel like the only people who get rich or ultra wealthy off going to college are people who go to college and look at it as a business and don't go
And
to
have a
college
set
to learn
plan.
lessons.
Like, yeah, exactly. And has a set plan about how they're using their college education
Exactly,
to
like-
further their
Most people don't even know
what they're
that
doing in there.
their college degree is worth less than the job they're going to get. You get what I'm saying? So it's like
Especially depending on what your major is
Exactly.
and all that situation.
I know people who got college degrees and then came home and got a job that you could have just got straight out of high school if
Yeah,
you wanted to.
and they're next to people that get straight out of high school.
Exactly.
I know.
So it's like, you know,
My wife graduated from Temple. She struggles with that realization, but she still appreciates that she went and all that. She's
Yeah.
proud of herself and everything. But it is kind of like hey,
yeah. But see, going to college isn't the scam. The price ticket they attach to going to college is the scam. Because think about it. When I was in, I don't know if y'all went to college. Like, did you go away to school in a dorm? Either
Never
one of
went
y'all?
away. Never went away.
All right. Well, me and Ty did, and Ty can touch on it too. Is like that time I spent in college where I didn't have a mom and a dad to tell me go to bed, go do your homework, while at the same time, in the eyes of the world, I'm viewed. I mean, I can't drink or nothing like that, but I'm 18, so in the eyes of the world, I'm viewed as a young man, as an adult. So I'm able to do adult shit without having to have nobody to check me and say, hey, what you doing is out of pocket or whatever. So and money is not a quote unquote issue because I don't gotta pay bills. I don't gotta buy food because I'm in the dorm. I'm in the dorm. I get cafeteria food. So my only money that I need is not for survival. So I can really spend that time to really figure out who I am as a person with no stress of bills, pressure, of anybody else, but the price ticket associated with it is what makes it like, come on.
It's definitely something I struggle with, and that's why I ain't feel committed. For one, I'm not like super. I'm not gonna act like I'm something I'm not. I'm not saying I'm dumb, but like I'm not like into the. It wasn't hard for me for school, but I didn't like school, and I feel like for one, if you go paying for school, you should at least like it. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of got school, but it's like I hated being there. Like, I hated everything about it.
We was at community together.
Yeah,
so
and I was at community.
we was experiencing the
yeah.
same shit.
Yes, and I was like, this shit, I hate this shit. Like, I really do.
Well,
But
you
it's
can't
like,
say
but I was
community,
listening
though,
to.
because
I mean, that's not the real experience,
what
right?
is that, 15th grade, like that's not college.
No, definitely,
No, but I'm just saying in
definitely that was
general,
13th
like-
grade, bro. Like I
Yeah,
told
it
somebody
was.
recently, like when me and you were in there together, we had a couple classes together,
Right.
and niggas was in there acting crazy. A nigga got his refund check, bro, in the
It's-
middle of class. Got his refund check. He fucking said yes, hallelujah, whatever. I never seen him again. I was like, I can't be around this. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was there for the check. Okay?
So from there, I
lot
just
of
said, I'm
people
just
would.
going to work. I'm just going to work. So that's how that went for me. I did trade school, but
What I don't,
Yeah.
it's crazy because this mindset that you have is becoming more popular now, but it wasn't really back then. Back then, it was if you ain't go to college, you ain't gonna be shit.
Definitely.
So it was a lot of that pressure, which I wish I did listen to because I would have got things started my way a lot sooner. But I was under the impression that you had to go to school to become who you want to be, and fortunately, you didn't have to because you the same age as me.
Yeah, I just turned
Right.
29 a few months ago.
Yeah, so I wish I was a year.
yeah, I mean, everything ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everything's not for
It
everybody.
depends.
And
It also
you
depends what
definitely-
you're going for.
Go ahead.
It always depends on what you're going for. Like you said, some people had their mind made up what they're going to do when they get there, and they plan shit out. They make these moves. Some people just go to college because they just want to get away from their parents.
Yeah,
But while we touched on that narrative, though, that everything's not for everybody, definitely everything's not for everybody, but ownership is for everybody. And
Ownership?
Ownership of
Ownership.
something. Something. Own something. You can't pass down. This is ownership. Y'all own this. This is something. This can be passed down. This is yours. Like
this table.
no, you know. but the situation is that people will say, you know, everything not for everybody. Like everybody don't want to be an entrepreneur. Everybody don't want to everybody don't want to be a landlord. Everybody don't want to be something. But at the end of the day, unless you live in this world 100% like a selfish person,
Right.
you know, every creature on this earth, we don't know what the meaning of life is. You can have one perspective, and Ty can have one perspective. But one thing we all know about every creature on this earth is everything that living creature does is for their kin, right? They'll do everything they can to make sure their kin can grow up and pass on their genes, their DNA. We have a higher level of thinking when it comes to that, so we kind of ignore our basic habits of making sure that when we die, our kids are in a situation where they'll be okay. You know, I feel like sometimes we have too many GoFundMes and fish fries.
I agree
and
with
things
that, totally.
because we have no ownership. So because we have no ownership, and when God forbid you pass away, it's up to everybody else to figure out how we gonna put you down. And it's up to everybody else to figure out who gonna now take care of this for the kids, or who gonna do this because you're not here.
How much did that go back to what you were saying about us starting behind? You know, being slaves for so long, not having anything to own. So, you know, we're talking about like first generation. Like he said, we're the first generation to think about this. Or the last generation was the first to think about just surviving. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we kind of starting from a way, not saying that everybody thought like that, but it's like it's catching up and it's starting to be realized. But I feel like a lot of it was a lot of people families having to catch on what that even means.
I 100% agree with that, because that goes back to the memory DNA thing, right?
Right.
Look at this. I was raised by my mom. My mom's mom lived during Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. So that means she lived during segregation.
Same.
So that means I met my great grandma. My great grandma died when I was a teenager. She died like in her 90s. So that means if my grandma lived during the times of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, then that means
Her mom.
exactly. You know where we're going.
Yeah.
So that means her mom. So that means the person who raised my grandma was raised by someone who was raised by a slave. That's how far. That's how close we are to
close
this.
it is,
And
yeah.
people don't realize that I met my great grandma. Right. So that means her views on life, how her trauma and pain. I right now in 2021 can say that I was alive to experience that, because I was alive to hear the stories. Exactly. I was alive to hear, to see what she'd been through. I was alive to hear out her mouth what her mom told her how when her mom was raised by a slave and what that was like. You get what I'm saying? And people don't realize how close we still are to that. And while at the same time, when you in school, I didn't know that my history started before slavery. Why is it that we are, as black people, we have no culture? You get what I'm saying? We have no culture, but everybody wants our culture. But at the end of the day, we're the only people on this earth who don't really know anything about where we come from. We think our history start.
No, it's facts. It's facts, man. You got to take an initiative, like as a young person, like say in high school. Like me personally, I took an initiative to learn, more maybe than the average person about culture or shit like that. Everybody don't. Some people just don't give a fuck. I wouldn't say that. Some people don't care. Me, I care. So for me to look at it in that sense that you're saying, all right, so we went to school, bro. We was in high school. We did a couple years in high school together. They didn't teach us nothing that has anything to do with anything that we care about.
They played.
What is it called?
I don't know. They played Roost though. That's all they did.
Y'all ever use it?
No,
exactly.
That shit.
A radius of a room. I never had to know the fucking radius of a room.
I never
circumference. Never had to learn that.
No.
Like, what the fuck, bro?
They should teach it. That's what. I mean, that's something that's going to take a long time to change, bro. But I mean, instead of doing algebra, they should be teaching us about money.
Yo, shit that we learn about in school is we're now being told as about adults we learn for no reason.
I'm gonna tell you this, right? And I'm an educator. I educate kids for a living, and I'm gonna tell you this: how can you expect a child to come to school and worry about algebra, geometry, all those kind of things when they go home? They mom not there. They mom getting beat on. They don't got no food in the fridge. They finances effed up. They can't even wash their clothes for real the way they want to.
And they only coming to school for real because it's a relief.
Yeah,
Shit's not realistic though.
Like they come there because that's where they get their meals.
But
Because that's
imagine
where they
though,
escape from their reality.
imagine though if school was more so like this, right? Hear me out. If I say, yo, climb this tree, and I get a fish, a lion, and a turtle, the lion can get up the tree, no problem. The turtle and the fish ain't getting up the tree. So why am I teaching them how to climb a tree? Why am I not teaching a turtle how to not get swept up by a seagull?
Right.
Why am I teaching him life skills like that?
Or
Why
how to wait for the food to fall from the tree.
Exactly. Or
Like
why am I
just-
teaching the fish how? Like, why am I teaching them things that directly
survival skills.
Exactly.
I don't
But
get that.
instead, we teaching kids in communities about history that's not theirs, about math situations that they'll never be in, about predicaments and things they never be in. While right now, currently, if you taught this child how to do taxes or how to budget, they can literally go home that very next day and say, "Mom, listen, I know that when you get that check, it feel good at the beginning of the month, but by the 15th, everything be going.
And this is
So how about I help you break this shit down so it lasts all 30 days?"
And this is what I was saying about how I had a general just disinterest in school because all that never made sense to me. Like I would literally be in class like, I get it, I'm hearing it, but I'm like, why are we learning about it?
Yeah,
Like,
I was
what
the
is
same way.
going
No,
on?
it definitely was never interesting.
Like it was just like, and it's just like I couldn't continue it through more school. But
Yeah.
but
I really didn't realize that till I got to high school though. That's why I was distracted. Like I don't know, man. I just never can get with it, man.
Yeah.
Shit we learn is just crazy, man. To this day, I just look at it like just went through high school, just learning.
And I mean,
shit that
and then
didn't
at the
apply to
end
my
of the
life.
day,
Shot
too, you
class.
gotta look at like what
an egg.
schools we had to go to, what research we had, because maybe I would have been more interested if my school had proper resources and make me interested.
I will say though, all right, we went to high school. They did like 2 years with me. She went to high school with me the whole tenure. Now
I
that's
went to a pretty good school, right? Pretty good.
Yeah, starting out, I went to a good school.
now I would
ain't
say
end up in a good school.
I
though,
will say that job can put you in a place where if you do graduate, once you graduate, you can make money doing something that you learned in school. I will say that.
Yeah.
But most people just want to do their own thing, or we just all want to do their own shit. Like I
But-
made money from stuff that I did in school.
Yeah, I haven't made money from nothing I did from Saul. Maybe because I wasn't there long enough, but I did take skills that I was able to apply still to my life, like
Facts.
like the gardenings and things like that. Like I go do my mom's garden, and I know I be knowing stuff and all that. I remember learning like the simple stuff, how to drive the machine. So when I had like a grocery store job, it kind of was the same. So I did pick up some life skills that I was able to apply to my everyday life. But for me, Saul was more like a getaway.
Yes.
Because it was so different from what I saw.
Changed my
Like,
life.
Yeah, it definitely did. Like coming from South Philly, coming from like where we come from, to get on the bus and ride all the way out Roxborough,
Try to
be
tell
on the
people that all the
farm
time.
with horses, like that saved me mentally.
Yeah.
It did, and I didn't realize
Wow.
it at the time,
Yeah.
but it really did.
I tell people that all the time, bro. Like high school for me was like mini college because it changed me. Like all I knew was black people. I'm from
Yeah,
Southwest.
I never went to school white. That was
exactly.
my girlfriend was white at that school.
Yeah.
Wow.
We met black. Well, we knew black people. We met white people, Spanish people, Asians. Like I didn't know. All I knew was black people. I see a white person out and about, but I didn't have any interaction.
No
with them.
interaction. That was
At 14,
Puerto Ricans.
you get exposed
I mean,
to all this. You know what I'm saying? It's just life changing.
That sounded like me when I was in 3rd and 4th grade. Like I grew up in Germantown and Brickyard. It was like one of the worst neighborhoods, especially back then. And my mom didn't want me going to school around there, so she sent me out to Elkins Park with my grandma. and all of a sudden I was in school with white Jewish kids, and I did that for the 3rd grade and 4th grade year, and it's like I still, even though I was young at that time, even when I came back, I felt like knowing that there's something outside of these public, like this area of schooling, like, and I know a story about why I went back. My grandfather had died, so it just ended up being that way. But I was supposed to be there longer. I think I was supposed to go there until I was like at least high school. Like, but I ended up staying on there for 2 years. But I even still looking back at like knowing that, you know what I'm saying, like seeing like knowing like just simple shit. Like I noticed that when I was over there, our playground had grass, we had courts. We had jungle jumps. We had swings. I come back to Philly.
Horrible.
Fucking blacktop. Or just an old parking lot that they took the joints out and maybe a court. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just knowing that like I don't have to be like you don't have to be a subject of your environment. You know what I'm saying? Like there's other shit. And it also helped too. Like I ended up going to it was a charter school, it was a middle school called Monty. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's also a German uptown school. And
I know
like
Emotep.
Afrocentric, huh?
I know Emotep. They used to be
You talk
crazy
Emotep.
at basketball.
So Emotep is the sister school of Amani.
Okay, yeah.
So if you went to
Oh, I know.
Amani,
All right, I got you.
yeah, you went to Amani, then you went to.
Yeah, I knew it had something to do with Emotep.
Yeah.
I remember I always see them. Like,
And it was
basketball
Afrocentric. Like my mom
Yeah.
put us in there, so it was like they taught us about like, you know, what it means to be black, like what it means, like where we actually come from. I feel like, and I think that helped us. Like we hated it back then. Like trust us, like when you're a kid, you don't really understand the game you're getting put on for real, for real. Like you know what I'm saying? Like all we knew is like this was the draw in that school to make us tuck our shirts in. Like why the fuck we gotta tuck our shirts in? You know what I'm saying? Like
My middle
There's a school like that in West, Harambe.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if they still going. They were a couple years ago, but they pretty
the same way.
Yeah.
Afrocentric.
So I think that's important, like, because I could tell, like, I could literally tell the difference in my friends who went to Amani and how they like carry themselves compared to people who never got that.
Got that experience,
Like,
yeah.
like just only been to public schools, like only been to the worst schools.
Oh, you know when somebody only been to public school.
Yeah.
Like you could tell in
And
their
I don't mean to
vocabulary.
offend anybody. I know we got a lot of. This is not a private conversation. I don't want to offend nobody. You only went to private school. You got to do what you got to do. But it's like it's a harsh reality.
Yeah.
It's not everybody.
Oh, let's be clear. I
You know what I'm
never.
saying? And there's a lot of
No, I
people that
didn't in
made it
private
through
school.
public school
Never mind.
who thrived through public school and became people. So that's definitely not the dig at public school in general. But we all know the systemic problems that's been going on in them.
Yeah, but our conversation isn't about the. I know it can seem like that, but our conversation isn't about the person like digging into the person that been to public school. But at the same time, we got to be accurate on how we depict certain things because that's how the narrative changes. That's how we get shit done.
Right.
So public schools do suck.
Yeah,
Not the
keep it a
kids
buck.
that went to
let's
public
keep it a
school,
buck. Yeah,
but public school
fucking
itself sucks.
And even if you did thrive through it, you know that.
Yeah,
Like,
you're the understand like this is why I get mad too when you see like successful black men get on TV or get on their platforms and say like, yo, I don't see what y'all talking about. I made it out. You're the exception. There's always going to be an exception to everything. There's always going to be a group of individuals who can quote unquote make it out of a situation, who can succeed in any situation you put them in. So yeah, there's going to be people who go to public school and get straight A's and go to Harvard and become created the next biggest tech thing. Like that's, don't get me wrong, that's 100% possible. But also understand you who are saying I went to public school and successful, or you who are saying I didn't see systematic racism, all those kind of things that fall under those things, understand that you're the exception.
Right.
That's not how it is for everybody else.
What you think about this, man? What you like? How was your school and how did that? And like, was that part of why you got the jobs? And like, how did you balance both? Like, what was that like?
Yeah, I definitely feel like my schooling was like did a stepping stone for me going forward. So I started at Emlyn. Emlyn is in Germantown.
I went to Emlyn.
Okay.
Are you from Uptown?
Yeah,
All right,
I'm from
bet.
Uptown, yup.
All right, I went to
So-
Emlyn for kindergarten and first grade.
I went to Emlyn, and then it was either go to Roosevelt or, well, it wasn't even an or. It was go to Roosevelt. And my dad had got married at the time, moved up Mount Airy. So that's when I had went to Jenks all the way up Germantown Avenue. And I feel like Jenks helped me get into Saw. Like just
Gotcha.
having Jenks on my portfolio.
Right on your record. Right.
Yeah, my record.
I don't know. Is Jenks like a really good school?
As far as middle schools, yeah, it was
Okay.
because it's up Chestnut Hill. So
Oh, yeah.
So and then I feel like Saul just saw it was a good look high school. Right. So any job application I was putting in high school, I felt like that was like a good notice on
to this day.
Right. So you just had that hustler mentality. That's just how you wanted to get it.
Yeah, that's all I really like. Yeah, basketball stopped early for me because of injuries. So it was just.
I mean, did you see it as a way of like keeping you out of trouble? I know a lot of people put themselves in work because sometimes the streets be calling. You know, like.
Yeah. Basically, I watched my family do the streets growing up.
Right.
So I knew so much about it. I knew it was the wrong way to go.
Right. So learn from your surroundings. Like,
yeah, basically.
Which unfortunately I wish that worked more. Because a lot of people have that, but yet they still fall into the trap. Which is some people don't have a chance. I mean, some people don't have a choice. But some people just like willingly go into it, and it's like, man, don't you see what this shit can do?
That's unfortunate because I personally know people who are close to me who openly, willingly went deep into the streets where I felt like it was no need to do it, and now their life is like completely destroyed because of it.
It's in jeopardy every day.
And it's this false narrative, like, and this all comes back to, I feel like the biggest problem with us is that we have no culture, right? Yeah. We have no culture, but while having no culture, the culture that we create, everybody wants, and when we created, somewhere along the lines, we created it or somebody created it for us, a culture was created where we had to be violent, where we had to be dangerous, where we had to hurt one another, we had to do these things, and that became our identity. Think like if you really think about it to a deeper level, look at how we treat like gangsters versus how we treat regular people, or even how our mindset where we will be like, oh, why you talking all proper? Why you doing your schoolwork?
I was always so
like why
when I came out of
why you walking down the street not sagging your pants? Like why you doing that? Like that's really our mindset. Yeah. So it's like people feel like as a black man, you feel like, of course it's not everybody, but as a black man sometimes, especially when you're a black man growing up on a 4-block radius that you never left, you feel like if I don't become a king of the streets, then I'm a square.
I think I have a theory about that, though. I think I have a theory about why that became our culture. Because it was the only type of black man that was allowed to thrive. When you really think about it. Malcolm X, Nation of Islam, they're a threat. They were too organized.
They was dangerous.
They were dangerous. Black Panthers, organized. They were too dangerous. Early gangs were not violent. They were about unity. They were about bringing people together. That was when they found them. That's when they wanted to destroy them. That's when they locked up Tukey Williams for 100 fucking years and then execute him. Mm-hmm. But now gangsters, they don't give a fuck what a gang is. They don't really care what a gangster is now. But when it was, because it's destructive now. Mm-hmm. But when it was something organized, when it was something beneficial to the community of black people, it had to go. Like, think about that. Like, we don't, like, the KKK is still around, right?
Hell yeah.
Why isn't the Black Panthers still around?
They
they're not the fraction. They might be some form, but they're not the fraction.
Yeah, what they was.
Exactly. So
or close or half of what they was.
That's just bottom line.
And
what Kanye say? They should have killed me before this interview. Oh, you thought they should have killed me before?
Yeah, he bugged out.
No, that was a crazy interview.
He bugged the fuck out.
But no, you definitely wanted something, bro. Nobody, be honest, bro, that's the first time I heard that perspective. Nobody's never said that to me before, I never heard nobody say it. But as you were saying it, and as I was processing it, I was like, damn, that goes back to the DNA memory. Everything always go back to that. I felt like if we was alive in a time and we saw Malcolm X doing what Malcolm X was doing,
we would want to be
like Malcolm X. And then it's just like a rumor. It's like if I tell you something, you tell Dove something, Dove tell Ty, it ain't gonna be the same no more.
Right.
So we see aggression, we see masculinity, and then it turned to beating on women and killing one another. You feel me?
It was never supposed to be that way.
It was never supposed to be that way.
What's scary because we're losing more and more of these type of leaders. But with the thing about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, by the time we got to know about them, they were like historic. They wasn't. You learned about them, you knew how great they were, and you appreciated that, but it's like, it's not the same as actually getting to see that. So with our representation with black men wasn't that. That was like in the past. That was something before we even got here. You know what I'm saying? So we grew up in the era of Jay-Z and 50 Cent. And I'm not blaming anything on them. Those are guys, to me, those are my, like, especially Jay-Z. I look up to Jay-Z a lot. But the point is, though, look where they had to come from. Look what we had to look at. And only the ones who were smart enough to distinguish when this was necessary and when it's not was able to survive, while everybody else fell victim to either the lifestyle or jail.
Yeah, I mean, they always say the lifestyle has no retirement plan.
Right.
So those specific guys you talking about, they got out at the right time.
Right.
They invested their money, and they kept pushing. But, you know, it's guys that we see in the hood every day and they still selling the same amount of weed they sold when we was in high school.
On the same corner that you walk by every day.
I'm just keeping it real, bro. Like, yo, we shouldn't.
I know
Why?
they should at least be like you should at least graduated by now. You know what
I'm not
like,
trying to tell you to go sell
like,
the other thing, but damn,
at
least do wholesale now.
Right. And if you were selling nicks and dime bags in high school, bro, you better be weight of weed. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And I'm not trying to promote it, but it's a pattern, bro.
It just makes sense to me. At least if you're gonna be that, be that.
Like if you're gonna risk your life and your freedom, why would you still be on level 1 10 years from now?
That's all I'm saying.
That's the point.
Or what was the true end goal? Like
they don't have one.
That's the thing.
They have no plan. They just want to do this, and that's they good with it.
And
like some people get complacent. You get complacent in the streets too. Don't get it twisted. I still see it. Niggas older than us. Still on the same thing. I still speak to you, but it's like I can't. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't really hang with you. We don't have anything in common now. I'm trying to get here, and you just.
Yeah, but I don't even know nothing about that no more because I just stay away from all that altogether. I feel like because I'm really big on you base your situation based off the people you around, right?
Facts.
So if I'm hanging around people all the time who do certain things that I know I wouldn't do, then what's the thing I'm going to say? Well, at least I'm doing better than Ty, or at least I'm doing better than Dove, at least I'm doing better than so-and-so. You get what I'm saying? So then when you start having that mindset, I'm now comparing myself to people who I'm like, all right, as long as I keep this person where they at, and I don't got to get no better or no worse because I'm doing better than the people I'm around.
That's horrible.
So in order to change who you are, you got to be around different people. Yeah. So I couldn't be the same person I couldn't be the person I want to be now, hanging around the same situations I was hanging around. So those kind of situations where you keep having small talk with the guy on the corner who you've been seeing, don't talk to me no more.
No.
I don't understand why you still standing in front of this corner store.
No, that part is easier said than done. Like, I don't hang out by no stretch or nothing like that. I hang out with the same people, high school friends, people I met along work and stuff like that. But if I see you and I know you, I'm going to at least shake your hand at least probably. But as far as hang like, yo, bro, I see you in a minute, let's catch up. No.
Yeah, but I feel like the acknowledgement of even it's not that. I feel like once you get to a certain point, if you want to continue to keep going to certain other points, you got to understand that certain situations just can't be there, and you can't acknowledge certain situations anymore because you got to think about it. You only one person with one brain, with one hand. How many hands you gonna shake? You want to keep shaking hands of people who on the same corner that you walk by every day, or you want to start shaking hands of the same hands that Jay-Z be shaking? Well, Jay-Z not shaking hands of the niggas still standing in front of Marcy Projects.
I understand where you're going with it, but there's levels to that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I understand where you're going. If you're not around, you're not going to see him. But if I go see my mom and I see my homie up the block that he never did nothing to me personally, but he's still doing the same stuff, I'm going to say what's up to him. Like, I just don't have that part in me yet. I haven't gotten there. I'm not saying I'm going to sit on the steps with him for 3 hours or nothing like that.
But how do you draw the line then? All right, so
drawing the line.
So you
to
draw
me,
a line. He said you like, oh, so there go old JoJo from down the block. I'm gonna say what's up. Now old JoJo telling you about what Tukey did last night. Shit, that got nothing to do with your life. But we didn't even get to the pound yet. He telling you he now giving you negative energy about what the hell crackhead Tukey did to her mom at her house down the street. Shit that you don't need that energy in your life.
I don't even like.
But you can't stop her from saying that.
I don't have that many experiences right now these days with people like that. But when I do, I keep it real short. I mean, if a nigga going to keep talking, then I'm going to find my way out of it. But
why? Why put yourself in a position where you got to find your way out of it? Why even deal with it?
I'm not saying that but I'm not saying I'm coming down and I'm just going to go like, oh, shit, there goes such and such. Now, we cross paths, I'll speak, but I'm not going to go out of my way to speak to you.
I definitely
if I grew up with you, bro, if I grew up with you, I can't just walk right past you and look in your face. That's the man in me not able to do something like that.
I definitely understand what y'all both saying because I feel like I relate to what somebody was just saying, like especially when now I'm up Mount area again, but I was at Kensington. That's like, and around that area, like Kensington or Frankfurt, that's where I met most of the people, like growing up teenage years. So just walking around, I will run into people I know that I don't exactly want to associate with no more, but like you the homie, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I
Well, let's be clear. I wasn't talking about the homies. I was talking about the general person from the. You know what I'm saying? Like, not, not somebody you owe loyalty to, or
no, not even that though. But
this
like,
is about protecting your energy. Like, why would you need JoJo to tell you about what Tuka did down the
sometimes
street?
like the block can like pull you in. That's what I'm saying. It's like so even though they the homies, and I'm not saying like your best, like, but I'm saying like you know them from around the way.
Yeah.
You know them. But it's like they could draw you in. Like they could draw you in from wasting time that day. You could have been on your way to doing something, or
But that's
or
a you thing.
Huh?
That's a you thing. Like,
but yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You have to allow
It's
yourself to be
definitely a you
in.
thing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
My point is that it's like my point of what his point is. It's like taking yourself out of that so you won't have to
deal with
that.
I mean, like me
That's
personally,
what he
I don't deal with it. If I go to see my mom and I see my man, though, I'm gonna say what's up.
So Dub
That's
is
just
like,
how it
I'm
is.
like, the fuck out of here.
I'm not.
What's up? And I'm gone.
For me,
He's like,
for
he
me,
gonna make
to-
eye
I
contact.
feel like
You
y'all
gonna shake their
speaking-
hands to be
I
looking
feel
for
like
shit.
they're speaking from two different perspectives. Like Dove on some. If I see him in the store, like, yo, what up, Dove? Oh, all right, what's up, B? Like, blah blah blah. G, I'm pretty sure if somebody be like, yo, G, what's up? He gonna say, yo, what's up? But anything past that, it's a spinoff. Like, oh no, I gotta get up out of here. But it was good seeing you. I'll holler. Right. And you would do the same thing. Yeah. So that's why I mean, like, y'all just on two different perspectives.
And
like,
I'm just saying
Dove,
that,
like G probably looking at Dove, like he going like, oh, he across the street. Let me go see what's up while I'm walking in the store. No, ain't nobody doing that no more.
Right.
That's when we leaving him where he at.
Because you don't know what people got going on nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's the.
Now I don't want to know what people got going on. That's why I want to talk to him.
I don't approach people like that no more.
Right.
Yeah, like I'm cool.
I was speaking on the perspective of somebody who indulges.
But at the same time, though,
in a sense, it's still.
I was talking about.
It's still
like,
a matter of.
What's up? Like, what, chill for a minute? Like,
No, we ain't doing it. But it's still a matter of don't forget where you came from.
Huh?
It's like just because this dude might still be doing what he's doing,
Right.
that don't mean he don't have respect or your best interest. He has his life. He's doing what he's doing. That don't mean he's going to try to drag me.
Can you define that for me though? Like, what does "don't forget where you came from" mean?
Don't forget where you came from means if you have people that looked out for you back when you was younger, they made sure you was good, like old heads in the hood, they made sure you was good. No matter what they had going on in their lives, they might have been drunk as a skunk, but if they seen you in trouble, they had your back. I'm not going to turn my back on those people. If they're out there doing something dangerous, cool, but if I see them, I'm not going to walk past them like I'm some type of movie star or some shit like that. I don't got that in me.
So what level does it stop at then? How toxic does someone does quote unquote the area or the environment that you came from? How toxic does it have to be for you to say, okay, well, I'm just going to remove myself from this?
I don't chill there. I go see my mom.
Right. So
isn't that forgetting? But isn't that the definition of forgetting where you came from when you don't go chill there no more and you don't go there and be in support?
When you go there and you don't acknowledge, if somebody speaks to you and you don't acknowledge them, that's my part of it. Like if I'm on my mom block and my homie walk by, I look him dead in his face. He like, damn, he hit me like later, like, damn, D, I walked past you, ain't say nothing.
But see, I think that's where we got our conversation kind of went a different way. I wasn't talking about you see the homie who when you was 10 years old, y'all got into a scrap and some shit, and he like rocked with you. I ain't talking about the homie. I'm talking about the other people in the environments, the other people in the communities that
begging for pounds?
Yeah, but not even just begging for pounds. The other people in the community who know you, but y'all never had nothing more than I know you and you know me. We never been in no shit. We never went through the trenches together. I'm talking about I kind of limit my kind of interactions with those kind of situations of the same person who was standing on that same corner when I was 5 years old, and now I'm 25 years old and you still doing the same stuff. I'm saying that I no longer feel the need to have to acknowledge you anymore, because by acknowledging you and accepting your energy and the negativity that you got going on is going to bring shit to me that I don't need.
There's levels to acknowledgement, though. My main thing is I'm just not walking past. If somebody speaks to me, I'm going to speak back. That's my only thing. I'm not going across the block to holler at him, ask him how his mom is, unless you my man. Other than that, what's up? Keep it pushing. That's my thing. I always been like that. I can acknowledge you if you acknowledge me and keep it pushing. Everybody can't do that. But as far as going back, like I'm still I live in the hood still, so I can't act like me going to Southwest from North Philly is some big thing. I still live in the hood, so if I go see my mom, I see a couple homies. It's the hood, bro. I live on. That's not my actual address.
Right.
I didn't make you even say that much though, but I thought because you right there by the park. I thought
Bro, it's still the hood.
Okay, you're right.
I'm not trying to glorify it, but it's the hood.
No, you're right.
If I walk down the block to the water ice stand, niggas get shot.
Okay.
I'm not glorifying it. Like where I come from might be worse than that. But if you go around the corner from where I'm at, people's dying.
Right.
So I mean, it is what it is.
Land developing and going around there though.
It's land, bro.
It's everywhere.
It's Philly. We live in Philly, bro. Yeah. So you're not safe nowhere.
Everywhere. No, I mean, I'm in man. There's treachery up there.
Exactly. And no matter where, you can't get out of it. You go to Delaware, niggas is getting shot up now. Yeah. Well, that's probably because we out there now, but still.
I feel like my loyalty is to, of course, the homies, the friends, not necessarily quote unquote the community, because we don't even own a community. The community, I'm gonna go deeper because community is the people. I'm gonna say the neighborhood. The neighborhood today cannot even be the hood 10 years from now. And then what neighborhood we talking? Cause then what Southwest ain't
like that now.
I'm about to say, look, I'm from South Philly, bro. They call them Point Breeze, new bowl, but this not even Point Breeze no more. So 10 more years, I'm gonna say, well, what neighborhood we talking about? Because the neighborhood we grew up in ain't even our neighborhood no more.
But you can look at it in different ways. Like it takes just like you got raised by a single mother. It takes a village to raise a person. So although I had my mom and had uncles, the people in the hood looked out too. If they see me in some trouble and they know my pop and my aunt and my moms and all that, they going do what they gotta do. So I'm not saying I owe them loyalty, but at the same time, I owe them respect.
Right.
So
I think the meat in the middle of what we're trying to say is just keep the people close to you who down and filter out all the other people who going to take away the energy.
If you low down and dirty, I ain't fucking with you.
Exactly. Like that's basically what we coming down to say. Is just keep the people close to you who actually want to see you win, who not taking negative, who not taking energy from you,
right.
or also giving you negative energy because you won't grow.
Right. Well, yeah, but like going to high school and Saul alone, that helped me weave out a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Going to school, and I kind of, once I got to Saul, I started hanging with y'all. Like, bro, live where he lived.
Well, he wasn't hanging. I thought y'all ain't like me. I wasn't hanging with me.
All right, so
you wasn't hanging with me, but
you know where I was going with it, bro. I didn't know nothing about Uptown until I met these guys.
Yeah. All right, so real quick, we gotta get you onto this. I was excited to hear you talk about this. Your credit thing.
And what about it?
Yeah, because like just to express, because I don't know if people realize how important credit is. I mean, you said you've been doing your thing. She was 21, so I just wanted to know, like, what is your opinion on like credit versus currency, and which is like more important, or which helps like you grind?
This is what I would say, right? Of course, the end goal is to have the cash, to have the liquid, because that's how you buy the resources, right? But when you comparing just simply in a general sense, like, yo, somebody said, give me cash or give me leverage, that's what credit is. Credit is leverage. Mm-hmm. I would prefer to take the leverage because I can leverage the credit to leverage it to get more things that cash cannot get me.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? So, but it also would definitely depend on the situation. It's definitely situations where cash is definitely king. But in today's time, when you trying to grow, when you trying to scale, when you trying to build something, take over, you get further with leverage and relationships than you do with money. You get what I'm saying? So
how do you help people? Like, what is your?
So with me, what I do is I help people with clearing negative items on their credit. So in most situations, people come to me in situations where they probably need to get their credit fixed. They probably was looking to get into a home or get into a new car, and then found out they may have some collections. Like, for example, right, I know that when I was younger, this is a lot of people, especially in the black and brown community, is that, your parents may go get Comcast in your name, phone bills in your name.
That's definitely something that happened. Yeah. I think my mom went through all three of those.
Yeah, and if you think about it, it's like, if they ain't the reason why they had to put it in your name is because when it was in their name, they ain't pay that shit. Yeah. So why would they pay it when it's in your name?
Luckily, I think they did like a restart or something though, because when I was signing up for Comcast, they didn't come up.
Yeah, and some people, and sometimes it'd be an
Fortunately,
easy fix
yeah,
if you
sometimes
could
you're
prove,
fortunate.
like, look, listen, I was fucking 9 years old. Yo. Like, look at my birthday. Like, the fuck else? They'll be like, all right, they'll work with you. But, you know, in a general sense, because most people don't know how to deal with stuff like that anyway, so they just stuck. So we already start as socially, we start at a disadvantage. Educationally, we start at a disadvantage. Financially, we start at a disadvantage. And now, in most situations, our parents set us up to fail before we even start by doing simple stuff like that and not understanding. Man, think about it like this, right? How many times you actually? Well, I'm not gonna say how many times, but I'm gonna say this: I've been in situations where I'll ask my mom, "Can she buy me something?" And she say we can't afford it, and I'll ask her why, and she'll smack me in the back of my head and didn't want to have an uncomfortable conversation about why we couldn't afford something. Like I never ever had conversations about money, finances, or anything in my house growing up from birth to 18. That I never heard that. I never heard money talks in my house. Only money talks I ever heard in my house was shit. We got to pay this bill.
Yeah, the bills getting
Bills got to get paid.
Right,
Who paid for the groceries? Like basically like the stuff that a struggling person lets you know. Like, listen, we struggling. Stop wasting my you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just that. So we are at a very big disadvantage, and I feel like
it's starting behind.
Way behind.
It's like I said, it's like I feel like our parent generation was the survival generation. Like they're coming out of civil rights and they're just like being told like you either like rap or ball. It's the only way you make it. Yeah. And you know, get a job and feed your family. Like I feel like it was really like premier, like, you know, basic.
We gotta get out of that too.
Yeah, no, I feel like we are. Like he said, like for one, the kids of the '90s were the first generation that was told you could be anything you want to be. Like that was the slogan created for us. So
and the internet made it so much better because it connected us all.
Right, and I feel like, you know, that was the disadvantage that they had. They wasn't being told that growing up. They wasn't told they could be anything they could want to be or anything they put their mind to.
They was told what they could be. They said, listen, you go get a government job. You go be a government man.
Yeah.
You
go work for SUPTA.
You go be a trash man.
Right. Working for SUPTA.
Like that was a dream.
Meme was when you work for SUPTA in Philly. That's like getting drafted to the league.
Yeah. The real rat.
Like it really is. Like, and it's like
I
you know, there's nothing wrong with that for real, but I'm just saying, like, but that's where that's what we saw our ceiling in the 80s. Like that we saw our ceiling as just that. You know, we couldn't be create our generational wealth. We couldn't make our own businesses because we saw that failed. We thought that failed. Black-owned businesses. That was, you know, you really like. It's crazy how we get used to things like the slogan "Black-owned businesses." That was something we really latched on in like the mid 2000s or something like that. Like it was really unheard about Black-owned businesses or supporting them. Like there were some out there, but like the you know how it's so much of a machine now. Like make sure you support if they Black. That's something we really had to reinstill into Black people to make it matter again because that's how much it fell off. Black people having their own business.
Listen, it's so bad that I remember I didn't know for a very long time that we as people can own anything.
Right.
I thought like I didn't even understand the different branding of a Walmart, a Target, and CVS. I thought that they all had different names based off where they were located, but they all were the same. I thought they all was like owned by the man, the one person who supplied everything, and we as the ants.
Wrong, probably. Like,
yeah, but no, but this is where I'm wrong. I'm wrong because Dove could have actually owned that Walgreens, and I wouldn't know. You could actually have owned that. Well, I'm not gonna say Walmart as a family business, but you know what I'm trying to say.
I get what you're saying.
Where I thought, and when I realized that anybody can do anything. That's why people come here. Like, and then once you realize,
I now get what you're saying. You're saying like how motherfuckers own McDonald's and shit.
Exactly.
Because I remember when I heard Bow Wow, the first person I ever heard.
I didn't know that.
Bow Wow. Like, how the fuck can Bow Wow buy McDonald's?
It's McDonald's. You get what I'm saying?
You can't own McDonald's.
What the fuck y'all talking about?
He bought a McDonald's, and I realized, oh, that's the thing.
So the man, the whoever this man is. He don't own McDonald's. Right. A bunch of individuals around the world own a handful of particular
and that's
McDonald's.
That we wouldn't know that. Like, because we could have strived through school. Like, how you know a bunch of these Black kids was like, I want to own a McDonald's one day. If we knew that was fucking possible, it might have been more niggas that wanted to do that.
Exactly. But that's when it comes to the financial side of it too. You gotta have the leverage and the financial literacy to own and operate a business too.
But where were we supposed to learn it? If we wasn't getting taught it at school,
I agree.
we wasn't getting it at home.
I agree. And if it wasn't for the internet, I'd be like, we shit out of luck.
Basically.
Like, honestly, if the internet didn't come around,
we'll still be way behind.
We'll be so far behind right now as a people that it'll be insane. So I felt like the internet, while it has its flaws or where it can destroy your mental health and things like that, at the same time, the internet was definitely a blessing. Because look at what we're doing right now. The foundation. This is the internet.
I don't know if there's anything that's more considered a gift than a curse than the internet. Like, it's like really, literally the embodiment of
just
that
as dangerous
definition.
as it is just as beneficial. And as it gets more dangerous, it gets more beneficial. Equal. It just keeps going.
It just balances it out.
You can't cancel the internet because we need it. So,
exactly.
But it's dangerous, but it's needed.
With that being said, I had a question. Right, I wrote it down today. Let's see. Somebody posed this question to me. He said, has social media over glamorized entrepreneurship? I'm going to ask you that first because you firsthand are in the business.
This is what I will say, right? Has social media glamorized...
Not glamorized, over. Because glamorized is fine.
I mean, look at this, right? You see some of these guys, and they looking like rappers, right?
Right.
They got the bust downs, they got all the chains, and they on like concert stages with crowds going crazy, got the artists there. So, yeah, social media has made, especially black entrepreneurs, be like the new style of being I ain't gonna say an artist, but I'm gonna be real with you. Entrepreneurship, you make a lot of money doing that shit, especially if you do the right business, where you can be in the same room as those guys and you can compete. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can, like, some of them people you may see on social media, like, they probably really not capping, depending on if you look at the industry and you really know how money work, then you kind of could have an idea if they really as successful as they say they is, to know that, yeah, he probably can compete in the room with Meek Mill. Like, he probably can't buy everything Meek Mill can buy, but when the bill come, he could pull out his card too. So once they started realizing that, it was like, well, why can't we benefit like the rappers and stuff? So why can't we have the girls and the cars and the stuff like that too? And I think what happened was that people were trying to say, they got caught up in the mix of trying to be like, all right, I want to live a get money life too, to the point where it was like, damn, I'm going to promote this get money life now so that I can get more sales on this and more sales on that. And then that's what it grew to the point where they start selling these unrealistic courses. Okay. Where they be like, yo, you can get this course and you can live like how I'm living like these rappers. Yeah, exactly. And not saying that individual guy didn't, but why you think rappers don't just be like, yo, come be a rapper like me, look at this shit, let's go rap.
Because they know.
They know. And I felt like what my main issue when it comes to some of these entrepreneurs online is that they make it seem like if you buy this course, then you will have this Lamborghini
guaranteed,
too.
Right.
It's guaranteed because this business is foolproof, blown down. And me, don't get me wrong, I'm somebody who sell courses. You get what I'm saying? But
a little different though.
Yeah, I sell courses to realistic levels. Like, listen, if you want to, like one of my courses is I have a credit business. So yeah, I'm gonna teach somebody how to get the LLC. How to get the LLC, how to get their insurance, how to structure their credit business so that they can start accepting clients, how to get a merchant machine, how to get all their affiliates set up. I'm going to give you all that, and I'm going to get you in place, and then I'm going to say, but listen, what the results is up to you. It's up how you market your business, how you do that, and all, that's all from the rip. A lot of these guys, they don't do that. They give you the fluff of the stuff and then blame you for you not being successful for not having a Lamborghini. Damn.
So what does it do for the people that aren't entrepreneurs? Because I think it puts a lot of pressure on a lot of people.
And it definitely inflates the number of people who think they can do it. Because one thing I know is about you guys, I'm not surprised you guys are entrepreneurs from your history, your hustle. You guys literally said y'all been hustling since y'all was young, so it's not hard to believe that you are where you are today. But if a motherfucker was barely doing anything in high school in or out of it, was it doing shit in their 20s, smoking weed all day?
Yeah.
I'm an entrepreneur. I'm about to sell these T-shirts. It's like, bro, you never had the work ethic in the first place, because that's most of it. What it is, you got to have the work ethic. So I feel like with the entrepreneurship, it got everybody saying, "Oh, I don't want to work for a boss. I'm my own boss," and they don't even know they don't even know the first step of what that means,
Yeah, they
or
don't
even
have-
how
they
to
don't
put
have
the
idea
work
what they
in
mean.
to even say that.
That's what I was saying earlier. Like everything's not for everybody. Now, it's difference between entrepreneurship and ownership.
Yeah, like listen, I feel like I be like because I'm in a credit space. You know how targeted marketing is. Like
Right.
basically stuff that you are interested in, that's what gets marketed to you. So because I'm in the credit space and I deal with a lot of credit stuff, I see a lot of other credit repair companies like get advertised to me. And I just be looking at them like, oh, this nigga's gonna scam me and take all my money. Like, why would I give this person my information? And it's like everybody just feels like everybody can be an entrepreneur. Everybody feels like I can wake up today and just go out there and start doing certain things. And like Dove said, like everything not for everybody, but ownership is. I feel like invest in your homie business who's successful,
Right.
who's
There you
already
go.
doing
It's
something.
already doing it.
Say like,
Get
yo,
that job so you can invest into your getting a house. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not everybody can just make their own money. It's nothing wrong with having a boss.
gotta have workers.
I hate that the new thing is you can't have a boss, especially when you having a boss can feel your dreams. Like we work for a boss, but we're putting our effort into this. You know what I'm saying? Like you can push your effort into other things and still have a
Now,
job.
I like that you said that because that's one thing I tell people all the time. I'm like, listen, get a job. I don't shit on jobs. Like that's one thing I don't do. Like if you look at my platform, like I never shit on jobs. Like I believe that a job is a good stepping stool to do what y'all doing
gateway.
right now. Because how you should look at a job is like, listen, can you invest into me? But you want me to invest into you, but in order for you to invest into me, let me invest into you first. So let me come clock into what you got going on. And then once I clock into what you got going on, you give me the income and then I'll invest that into this podcast and this podcast gonna blow up and take off. And then my whole mindset always was I wasn't going to work. I was investing into my future.
Right.
And then and that just that mindset shift of looking at even as having a job as an investment into your future will make investing so much easier when it's time to, because you already saw like, yo, I invested into Pico. Now I got podcasts. I invested into this. Now I got this.
And eventually, the main goal, I don't want to fucking work forever.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't people, I get this pension in 25 years. I'm not even thinking about that right now. All right. So I'm not even, that's too far away. You know what I'm saying?
You know they said Social Security about to run out soon.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? We got 40 years, but still,
Cool.
that's a long time, and I don't want to think about it.
So be
it's
great
like
about
you
Social
gotta,
Security right
you gotta
now.
make something happen. Like it's cool that you can have your job and do your thing on the side. That's my main thing. Like you don't have to. Some people can quit their job and they know what to do and they can make their way. They might have money still and saved up and all that good stuff. But that you got to really think about that, because I just seen people quit jobs, bro, and like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and they never did that, and they still don't have a job.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't help you.
Yeah, that's one thing I never did was jump out the window. Like I haven't had a job since I was 21. I'm 29 now. But at the same time, it was like before I finally let my last job go, I was 100% sure that what I was into, like, listen, I didn't quit my job when my mom said, let's open a daycare.
Right.
I quit my job
Which
once.
a lot of niggas would do.
Yeah, they do. They just jump out the window. And that's cool. It works because sometimes people,
say wait for some
people
people.
don't need people sometimes gotta get rid of their lifeboat to be successful. That wasn't me, though.
Right, yeah.
So I was like, I didn't quit my Comfort Keepers job until we had so many goddamn kids and I was losing so much sleep and stressed out that it was like, the job at that point was no longer needed. It wasn't, like the daycare was taking care of everything and I was making money in my pocket. The job was just like, damn, like this is that fear of letting go. Like, you get what I'm saying? But but I waited until as long as I could wait. Because at the end of the day, you need a job.
Right.
I respect a job because I have employees. So you need a job. You just gotta, it's just that sometimes what these jobs do is that they don't value people.
I was
Don't work 8 hours for them.
Oh man.
And get out for work and not do anything for yourself.
Right.
That's the main thing. I think we all understand that.
Exactly.
Like, don't just work and just go home and
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm
Definitely
saying?
don't. Unless you that guy who is okay with the pension. Like, it's people, listen,
I mean, that's okay.
and it is okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with if you got a good career job and you put that time in and you know they gonna let you go up until retirement and they ain't gonna do no shicey stuff. Like they did my grandma dirty at Blue Cross. They did that thing where they like, if the time that you've been working here and your current age and when you add it together meets this certain age, you gotta retire today. Like, if your job ain't on that type time, like them corporate type scandals, like, and you got a good situation, and just enjoy your good situation.
Yeah,
You know
if you
but also
got something
understand
successful that you love to do,
that good
also.
situation ain't gonna make your grandkids no happier, and ain't gonna make your kids no happier. But you cool with that, and you cool with like I
That's what
figure it out for me, and you figure it out for you, then so be
I
it.
feel like I was just about to say too that, and the only way I feel like what you're saying is definitely the gospel is if you're like single. Because if you're not single and you have kids,
It's selfish.
Support, it's a little selfish. It's like
It goes against living nature on Earth. The nature is every animal does things. Even if you look at the animals, they don't even stay there through birth. They still set them up to succeed.
Right.
They don't just leave them. It's like you know what I'm saying, leave them with nothing. Like you get what I'm saying?
Question: you being an entrepreneur, I hear different things about sleep. Okay.
That's cat, bro. I already know what you're about to say.
What do you? What's your belief? Like, how do you feel about sleep?
Sleep when you
How
die
important
is
is
so goddamn toxic, bro.
Thank you.
It doesn't make no goddamn sense.
that what?
Sleep when you die is toxic. Like that's unhealthy.
for the broke.
I take naps, bro. Ask Ty, I take naps. I take long naps. I'll be in the house. I'll go to sleep at 12. We'll wake up to 6. Like if I want to take a nap, I'm gonna take a goddamn nap because an unhealthy mind can't be successful. A stressed out mind can't get the job done. If I'm yawning and yawning and yawning, then what the hell am I looking at on the screen?
Yeah.
If I'm yawning and yawning
You're not
and
even
yawning, then what deals am I closing?
You learn that from being at work.
You're not even sharp enough to come up with your best ideas, to close your deals right. You might have missed something. Like,
No.
Yeah, I definitely.
When I'm tired, I close the computer, I turn off my phone, I turn on the TV, and I get in the bed and I go to sleep.
Now, but the weird part is that there are weirdly people who are successful with that mind state. Like Kevin Hart claims he has that problem. Like he never sleeps.
You probably on
Let me ask you a
coffee,
question
too.
though. When it comes, because I feel like when it comes to actors, when they got that kind of mindset, that kind of mentality, I feel like it's very, very dangerous because, bro, you work 3 months out the year. So why are you telling me don't sleep when that movie that you shot only took you 2 months? And maybe during that time period, them 2 months, you had to work really hard to remember your lines. It's like studying for a midterm.
Right.
But then, bro, you waking, you partying, you going like, why are you telling us that?
Bro, I feel like I thought you were about to preach or something I've been saying, but I'm a little tired of the over glorification of celebrities after like their mogul success.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you think about it, their talent paid for like, and I'm not saying don't take skill or brains to like invest your money in the perfect place, but like I saw something where like Floyd was giving praise or giving a speech about owning a skyscraper, and they're like, you work hard. I'm like, but the nigga beat the shit out of motherfuckers.
Right. I mean,
like, and then like, don't act like you can give me advice on how to get a skyscraper when you literally, I'm never going to be a boxer, bro. I got to start there.
Yeah, that's false advertisement because you got a job that pays tremendously well, and then turned around and said, "I'm a mogul,"
Right.
And you're not.
That's
The
what I'm
guy
saying.
who started boxing and who owns all the marinas, who paid you that $1 million you got,
Was
that's
a
the mogul.
Right. That's what I'm
Not
saying.
even
So,
Kevin Hart. I don't respect when actors instantly start having those mogul statuses. Like you gotta be like somebody like a Shaq, somebody who went and owned 50 Burger Kings, 20 hotels, and now I can say, you know
This
what,
resume
Shaq,
is crazy.
you're a mogul. You get what I'm saying? But you're not a mogul because you went and became an actor and got a nice job
Yeah,
and then
every
wrote a
movie.
book.
Just to bring him up again, wish it was Reese's birthday. Shout out to Ho, happy birthday, my nigga. But the reason why I look at Ho different compared to a lot of other like people like Kevin Hart and stuff is because I don't feel like he ever preaching that. I don't feel like he's ever telling somebody work, don't sleep, don't sleep. I never heard him like that. I think he's somebody who just
I don't think people who say that really believe it.
Right, exactly.
They don't believe it.
It just sound good.
And I feel like
It
with
sound
Jay,
good on the content.
Jay is just like he always sound like he just thought out his process. What's next? What am I doing here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like from selling drugs to opening up to his doing his first record.
See what he told the little girl.
To like having to split with friends that were toxic, like you were saying, that hold up, him and Dame couldn't go on because he felt like it was stagnating what he wanted to do.
What they wanted to do. It
You know
wasn't
what I'm
Dame-
saying? So
Dame was in
just
his
like,
bag.
I just feel like Jay is a person who was like somebody who knew how to take the right steps, and I admire that. Somebody who no matter what cards they were dealt, they knew how to maneuver and and keep their.
But I definitely
going.
consider Jay-Z like a mogul. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's people out here who earned that title, who went from
exactly,
entertainer to mogul. But I feel like sometimes they feel like because I reached a certain accolade in entertaining, that I'm a mogul.
Right.
And you're not. You're a high-paid actor.
Yeah, a high-paid actor that did 13
Somebody created
movies.
that job for you.
Yeah.
You didn't. Somebody wrote that script for you. You didn't mogul that script. You didn't mogul that director job. Like, you didn't.
And
do that.
I'm not trying to disrespect him. I don't know.
No.
But,
No.
because it's definitely a part of working hard. I'm pretty sure it's some type of working hard.
But
everybody would.
But that's not what we're saying though.
Every comedian would be Kevin Hart.
Exactly.
So he had to do something that other black comedians wasn't doing. Some type of work ethic that got him where he is. So I would give him that respect.
Yeah, but I feel like the foundation they've been saying he's a high paid actor already says that he works hard. I don't think that's what we were saying.
You're not taking nothing away.
Yeah,
from
we're not taking nothing.
him.
He works hard. He deserves everything that he has. I just feel like that's like somebody giving themselves a title that's just not appropriate.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? To call yourself a business mogul when you made your money, millions of dollars, working very, very hard, and as an actor, it's not accurate. To the person who is a business mogul, like a Jay-Z, like a Shaquille O'Neal,
And like, what do you think
like
about
Magic
Kylie
Johnson?
Jenner, what is self-made woman?
Which one was that?
That's the youngest one with Travis Scott.
Oh yeah, when they were saying she a self-made billionaire, and that get me so heated too because it's like she's really not, because this is the reality of the situation. Even when you look at her or Rihanna, right? What her and Rihanna did was they understood the power of influence. They understand the power of me watching you and caring about what you got going on. So by me leveraging that influence, because think about it, Kylie Jenner didn't start no she didn't open no warehouse. Rihanna didn't open no warehouse. They didn't go find some chemist and put some products together and say, let me test this, let me test that. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to misspeak, so I won't say which company both of them partnered with, I don't remember. But they both partnered with major cosmetic companies already affiliated, and then that company that they partner with does everything. Right. And what Rihanna and Kylie Jenner does, or is it Caitlyn Jenner or Kylie Jenner, whatever one they are, what they do is they get on social media.
Caitlyn the Pop.
And just market their business. You get what I'm saying? That's all they do. And then you get to say she's a self-made billionaire. Why? Because she has influence.
Yeah.
That she didn't start no business from the ground up. That business was guaranteed to succeed because look who she partnered with.
The only thing I give that family the most credit for is somehow staying relevant for 15 or 20 years. Because that's hard.
It's hard.
Admit, that's hard as shit. Like, they should have
been. Yeah, with
fell
our
off.
attention span,
we should have been moved on to some other family, some other. Like, the crazy part is that they've been so relevant for so long that it's now leaked to their younger siblings who don't even carry the same last name. And you would have thought that she would have had to be a Kardashian, but she didn't even have to be one.
I don't understand it because I really don't understand what they did. Like, I don't get it. Like I get this. I get
what you said on a large scale. Just
the internet,
influence, man.
Yeah, I don't know, but where did the influence come from? It's just so strange.
Well,
like,
you know where it started.
Well, we know where it started.
Well, it started Rob Kardashian, then it went to Kim, and then.
Wait, why do you say Rob Kardashian?
Because he fucking saved OJ life.
Oh, you mean literally her dad? I thought you were talking about her brother.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. No, or is it Rodney Kardashian? What is it?
Well, whoever their husband was, he was their lawyer for the OJ Simpson case. Yeah. And then the sex tape, and then I guess they just I don't know. I don't know what it was, what everybody liked about them, but they just blew up to this thing where like people would consider them our royalty, quote unquote. Yeah. Like when you they would compare them to what's them kings and queens and
Elizabeth.
They would compare them to that status. It's just so strange.
I would say this about them, and I would say this about your boy Drake. Sometimes you historically land in a good place. There was no family we didn't have a royal family. Right. They literally became.
Man, listen how we talking. We have a royal family now.
Unfortunately, I'm not. This not my royal family. I'm speaking. We never had a family that we followed that intensely.
But we do now.
It's kind of
Prince was fictional,
now, and it's hard to stop at this point for whoever does because we don't have it. We didn't have it. That's why nobody else can come after them. That's why they are who we are. Drake landed perfectly in that niche of who's going to be. Jay-Z's gonna know. Wayne is who's that everybody's guy that the gangsters, the girls, everybody can listen to. Drake stepped this type of, he would never fall off because of that.
Never.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes
Sky's the limit.
You hit.
He break records every year.
Sometimes you hit that stride right. Like Michael Jordan when he was there. You just hit that history. It was destined.
Yeah.
That's how I look. If you believe in destiny,
Yeah,
I feel like these
definitely.
are people that was destined. It was destined for the Kardashians to be the Kardashians.
Yeah, it was.
Because we can't explain it. You just say, how the hell?
It's unexplainable. Like
It's
I
unexplainable.
can't tell you. Like I have no clue.
No clue. Like they just hot. They just
Yeah.
people want to know what's going on. And I
hate
keep
'em.
thinking like because
There's so many sex tapes out here.
Came out, people were talking about it.
So many.
Yeah, so many.
When they
Free
show
sex
first
tapes.
came out, people were talking about, it, but I don't even hear people really even talk about the show. So I don't.
Well,
really
the show
know.
doesn't come on anymore. I think they.
don't?
Well, it don't. But it don't come on because they working on bigger and better things. Is why it don't come on.
Right.
They when it was time, and I know this because I have a lot of random fact. I pay attention to everything that go in the business world. So when their contract was, they did like E for like 15 plus years, and I just know this random information because I'm not a fan of them at all. But
Yeah, like Kim
He
had
like
like
want to make that clear.
throughout
yeah,
the show.
like,
Kim had
I don't know why I know this, but it's in
Kim
my
had
head.
like
so I'm
7
saying it.
husbands on there throughout the
Yeah,
show.
but she
I know some Kim
Kardashian.
Kardashian shit. I ain't know you.
Yeah, but when the contract was up with E, and Netflix was giving them ownership, so they jumped to Netflix.
Okay.
As they
Basically,
should.
they didn't
So-
renew the contract.
Respectfully.
Yeah, so they got something. They got their own little situation coming out sometime on Netflix, sometime soon, where they about to dominate the streaming world of their life. Like they about to take off.
I mean, I ain't no stopping them. I'm gonna just look at it like ain't no stopping them now. Like Diddy all day. Like
Yeah.
who gonna stop us? Like
You crazy. You know that, right? Crazy as hell. What's up, Ty?
it's all chilling.
Just, so,
Top been quiet, man.
I'm
What's up, bro?
what made you want to get down with the credit and the real estate? Let's tell us your story in that fashion. I know you're working.
G pretty much. They've been with, bro. It's been great. I ain't looked back at the post office since.
Yeah.
God bless.
So you worked at the post. All right.
Yeah, we like 6
Yeah,
months in, I
so-
think. Maybe 7, 8. I don't know.
G started his credit repair probably a few years before I got into the post office, and the whole way from his first day to when I finally linked with him, he always been telling me, "Bro, get on with me, like, come here, like, fuck with me, like, do this credit shit."
I sat through one of your conversations.
Yeah. So when I got into the post office, a few months into that, that's when we had started the investment group, and they did we bought that property together and everything. So again, he telling me, bro, you see where we going with it, like start fucking with me here, like forget the post office. The post office ain't going to get you where you really think you want to go. So
But that's a good job with benefits.
That's what they always
That's what
say.
they.
that's
That's,
how
I
I
know,
was
that's
taking
what
it.
they say. That's
how I
what.
was
And
Don't
what
give
Ty,
up a good job with
let me
benefits.
tell you this, right? What Ty said Ty said, but I got health insurance. He said something along the lines of that. I said, bro, but it's a different feeling when you can go to the hospital and afford to pay for your own health insurance.
Bad.
Yeah.
Them offer you health insurance is relevant if
Don't
you can
feel-
afford
and I
to pay
feel
for
like
your own
I start
shit.
to realize like that shit sometimes is a clutch. You know what I'm saying? They want you to feel like, oh, you leave this job, you ain't gonna be able to survive without it. You ain't never gonna be able to afford that. You know what I'm saying?
Get
You
your
know
own
what I'm saying?
goddamn health
It's definitely
insurance
a clutch to like to have that mentality.
I
like,
got health and life insurance.
There you go. I just signed up for life insurance. Me and my wife.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah,
It's
my
very
man
important.
hooked me up with that. We gotta get him up here. Actually, he's
Yeah.
really he's
Shout
a
out, shout out to Mr. Life Insurance. I'm gonna holler at you
Yeah.
too. I need another plan
Man,
too.
Chappelle, shout out to him if he would watch him. He says he watch.
Yeah, so I mean, I kind of was there along the way for the most part, but I mean to see y'all doing what y'all doing now, I'm not like inside, but I'm outside, but I'm inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you
But to
mean.
see y'all doing what y'all doing, bro, all I can do is be proud, man, because I know y'all from when we was 14. We were clueless, not to be funny or nothing like that. We fucking went to high school. We didn't know. I don't
was
think
young.
none of us knew where we would be at 28, 29, going on 30.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to
was
see
lost.
collectively, some people have jobs, some people have businesses, but collectively, people with college degrees. We got a lot of stuff going on within the circle that we started from.
Listen, one thing I will say about our circle, my fault, bro, but one thing I will say about our circle collectively is that I can say that I'm happy that nobody got lost in the streets. I feel like for the most part, like I could be talking outside of my realm a little bit, but I feel like for the most part, everybody that we was cool with, you know, to this day is like who still was able to be around. You know, we had some unfortunate losses, but I felt like where everybody is right now, I feel like everybody it's doing the right thing. You get what I'm saying? I feel like that's pretty cool to say that, you know, I can look at the people I grew up with and say like, yo, like they're a good product of society.
Because everybody can't say that about their friend
They
group,
can't. Some people friends be wilding. It's horrible.
Unfortunately,
I mean, like you
I
look,
lost some niggas.
even when you go through Saul, like I look at Saul, class before us, the class before that, I just go down the list, like the people that I've met, like from 07 on down. Like people are really doing big shit. And it's crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? Not even stuff that has anything to do with agriculture or anything like that. It just, you just look across the board, everybody's doing their thing. And like, I don't have nothing bad to say. You know, I might not be involved in everybody's, you know, situations and stuff like that. But just to be like, oh, I know him. You know, that's been my man since such and such. That's just a proud feeling, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's just a proud feeling. All we can do now is, you know, some of us have families, some of us don't.
My bad.
But
Go ahead.
you know, all we can do now is just keep pushing and, you know, showing the people under us. What you about to say?
I was about to say, the young boys probably don't realize that you're a success until you tell how many followers you got. That's how you speak to the younger generation.
Right. Yeah, so listen, man, let me see.
My man got a crazy number. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, it's a crazy number. You know, first before this, I would say that you're not valued by your social media, your likes, your followers, or your view
counts. That's the only thing to get through to these, bro.
But on some like, yeah, but yeah, I got about like 176,000 followers, and I'm verified and all
big
that.
Steppers,
But yeah, I'm saying definitely follow Big Steppers. That's why I wanted to make sure that I came here, because I wanted to make sure that when I see my niggas doing shit that's productive and positive, you know, I want to make sure that if I can use my platform to come bring light to someone else's platform, you know, that's definitely doing some positive things, especially somebody who I consider my brother, who don't ask me to use my platform to, you know what I'm saying? Because I got so many people who didn't contribute to nothing I have going on, never reposted nothing, who then turn around and say, yo, can you post this? Yo, can you throw that up? And Dove never did that. Dove never was like, yo, throw this joint up, bro, or damn, bro, why you ain't throw my joint up, or damn, bro, why you ain't. So definitely, I had to make sure that I definitely came through and, like, you know, support my man.
Definitely.
Because this shit.
And even though your following circles are following by like 3-4 laps, the whole point of Big Steppers was to highlight people like you who can inspire people to move life in different ways. Because I feel like we only get to see the Jay-Z's and everybody else and we think you gotta, like, it starts there, or that's the only time that somebody can pick your brain or you're worth, you know, hearing from. And we want to make sure, like, people like you also get your voice out there and get to spread your game, because you got game. I mean,
definitely.
you've been spitting game the whole time been up here. So clearly, like, the normal, like, you know, not the normal, but you know what I mean, the everyman also has something to say.
Yeah.
And, you know, have a grind, have a story to tell, and has the potential to be whatever. So I'm, you know,
Definitely,
God bless you and your journey, and you, and however far you guys get, you know, I'm willing, I'm definitely seeing it, and
you know,
Yeah, skies is definitely
Definitely.
a limit. But one thing I do want to be clear though is that we don't want to, you know, your value though isn't. So one thing about me, right? Like people, like at first, right? People used to stop me all the time, and I used to, like, you know, get super excited, super Joe, like yo, like they know me, like, you get what I'm saying? I'll be in the mall, they be like, yo, you the boy from TikTok, you the boy from Instagram, you the it happens everywhere I go. I mean, I went to Disney World for my son's birthday. I lie to you not, we got stopped 10 times. I got special treatment in the airport because I was in Philly and the TSA boy knew me. He opened up a whole line for me, called me over to the side, put me through the whole thing, all because he was like, yo, like,
flexing.
Yeah, but but I say that to say that is like, while at the same time you want to be mindful that you don't want to associate your value to your follower counts and you being verified or being this kind of thing.
Unless you're an entertainer.
Yeah. If you're an entertainer, like, I'm saying, definitely. But at the same time, don't also enjoy it though. Like if you can grow your platform, you can create content that inspires and stuff like that. Don't let nobody tell you that Instagram don't matter. Don't let nobody tell you that being verified don't matter. Because trust me, everybody whoever said, yo, being verified don't matter, being well, that don't matter. If I say it right now, hun, take my account, I'll take your account. They jump on that right now.
And
Facts.
also the thing is, the reason why I mentioned it was because you got those followers because your work got you there. Then nobody would want to follow you if you didn't work your ass off
No cosigns.
That you're somebody worth following.
Exactly.
People felt as though they're following you for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So also the following is to show that like, you know, you have to work your ass off to get there.
Everything is from the muscle.
Right.
And that's how I look at it. Like you said, I don't reach out to people like, yo, share my shit because you got a platform or something like that. That's a decision that the person has to make. You know, I just reached out to you as a friend because when we started this together, I told Jay, like, I got friends that's doing shit, and I'm going to make sure I get all of them up here individually together or however we got to do it, you know. Rather than, of course, it's people that everybody knows that might be a little bit more famous than all of us or whatever, but that I probably want to get up here. But at the same time, why wouldn't I put my folks on that I've known from 14? We didn't even have mustaches. Well, you did. Right. But yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But that's why I fucked with it even more because I was like, you know what? My man didn't jump out the window and start a podcast and instantly call my phone and be like, yo, come help me do this, come help me do that, come help me do that. I felt
it's not organic.
Yeah, exactly.
And my thing is like I never.
I didn't think I didn't. It got to a point. I was like, damn, is he not gonna call my phone? Like you know what I'm saying?
To Hollywood,
I was like, shit, you know, I don't mind coming on there, bro.
No,
but you know,
I think the funny part of it too is like, what I was about to say, shit.
Oh shit.
Oh, the funny part of it too is like, I don't want to get that caught up in friends supporting you because that's not our thing. We want people to watch.
That's not your friends aren't your audience.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
your friends
are
we're trying to appeal to everybody.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? I want people to share not because they know me, because they thought this shit was funny or that shit was
Exactly.
entertaining or they got something out of it.
Like,
so I'm not trying to press people for that anyway.
If you don't like the shit, don't
what do
share
people share? They share shit they liked, shit they it was entertained by. So if we're entertaining you, you're going to share it. I don't got to be in your DMs to be like, oh, you did it.
But listen,
you know
right?
what I'm saying?
Treat it as the strangers would.
Yeah, and I'm trying to appeal to the strangers. I'm not trying to just have like, oh, is all my family watching? That's
not going to help.
Yeah, that's not going to help us.
And that's the thing, right?
And I don't like when people start a business and that's what they expect. They be like, no, they only expect they want their friends and family to buy a plate.
It's never going.
Yeah,
like you gotta spend you gotta start networking. You gotta get out there, bro. Like you can't just be waiting for motherfuckers you know to always hit you up. Like you gotta get out there.
Like I tell people all the time, like if you start a business and the first thing you do is be like, damn, my homie ain't buy a shirt, my homie ain't, then bro, what you doing? And I'm about to show y'all something, right? Because y'all we right here. Like I've been doing this constant stuff for like since like 2016, right? Look at these joints, bro. I went all the way down to the bottom. Look what that say. 600 views, 200 views, 300 views. Like, you know what I'm saying? So the thing is like, and then you go up, I'm getting 8 million views, 10 million, whatever views, and it's like, but what people don't see is that you've been putting the time in for like 5-6 years before we get to the point where we at now.
I just posted something with Jay where he said everybody will see the end result. Everybody want to see when Kobe scored 30, but he was at practice earlier that day. Like, you got to understand, like, you definitely got to put the work in for everything you get.
Everything.
And I even say that for y'all is because, you know, definitely, like, keep pushing through everything. Like, understand that it don't matter if... What I tell people is don't get caught up in the viewership. Get caught up in the supporters, the people, the 5 people, the 10 people, the 30 people, the 50 people who show up every episode, the 100 people that show up every episode, and then they the ones who y'all going to build a relationship with. Those going to be the ones that's going to support everything y'all do. They going to be the ones that's going to share y'all content. They going to be the ones that's going to do it. And then that's when you going to know that 100 going to turn to 500, that 500 going to turn to 200, 300, 400. Like, understand that you got to trust the process, and the process don't got no timeline on it. You get what I'm saying?
It's funny that you say that, too, because my even though that is technically somebody I know, but it still meant a lot. My brother's fiance just told that a lot of the news that she get is from us. Like she learned this shit from us, and that made me feel good. Like that's one person that that.
And tomorrow's gonna be too.
Rely on us for a certain source of news. Like that's what's up. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that definitely speaks.
I remember when I got my first true fan. And you get what I'm saying? I remember I kept seeing the same person in my comments all the time. I'm like, yo, this person really fucking with me. Like,
that's dope.
This person really be here.
Yeah,
like to this day, this person still be. I get him free credit repair, all that stuff.
Oh, that's
only because I'm like, damn, like you repost everything I'm doing. You repost more than people who know me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna show you this love.
That's a meme too. Strangers. They do more than the people you know. Like it's kind of the way I see it though. I try not to take offense to it because the way I say it is that a lot of times people don't realize it because I think because when I try to remember how I feel because I'm not a jealous person, so I every time I see somebody do something, I'm like, that's what's up, and I strive to go for it. That's just me. Mm-hmm. But I try to think how maybe somebody else might feel, and they might feel like, damn, I ain't doing nothing yet, or I ain't. like that shit kind of like we want to flag you off because they like that shit ain't going to work because in their head certain shit don't work. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like people not sharing, people may not be engaging with you because that's their own issue. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna come at them for that. Like I said, if they like it. Or they might not like it. That's another thing too. I want to just throw that out there. They might saw our shit and be like, this shit corny.
And we gotta normalize that too.
Like,
if my man make a corny product, he can't get mad at me because I don't want to spend my own money to buy it. That don't mean I don't love you. That shit corny.
That's just corny, right? So at the end of the day, I'm not gonna beat your head over because whatever reason you might not be doing a certain thing. I'm just going to keep working till we get.
I got homies, right, who will still look at me as just the same person, but then will turn around and pay for somebody else to do their credit or pay for a course or information from somebody else. And I'm like, you get what I'm saying? But at the same time,
crab in the barrel mentality.
Yeah, but I'll be like, you know what though? What it is that you can't see yourself supporting somebody who literally stood next to you, who now not standing next to you no more. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and I respect it now. Yeah, I get it now.
They get killed by the people that hate. They like he was on the same block as me.
I think that's suspect though, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like he on the same block as me. My music, why ain't you know what I'm saying? Like it's just a certain level of that type of animosity too. Not that everybody's doing that, but I'm just saying it's all type of different reasons why somebody might not be fucking with your shit. And instead of worrying about it or investing into why, just fuck it, move on. Somebody out there will fuck with you if you good enough. If you work on your craft, people will fuck with you. Don't worry about the few that's not.
Everybody ain't meant to be on a journey with you.
Right. Yeah,
that's one thing I've learned in my 20s, my later 20s, exactly. Yeah. Especially, I should say, man. This is a good ass episode, man.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. We didn't even get to talk about the mental health, man.
It's funny because I think I texted Ty before and said I wanted to get Ty up here and do like a full
joint.
Yeah,
well, we gotta get Ty back up here then.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I want to do a full joint. I don't want to, give him the back end of the stick on this joint. I really want to give a full because I got a lot to say.
Both of y'all got that.
Yeah, we got definitely maybe toward our season finale or something. We do the part 2.
Is that your bag or that's both of you guys' bag? The mental health talk.
I mean, well, I don't know. I was going to see how I forgot to talk to Dove off the thing to see how he felt about talking about the situation that we went through when I was dealing with a mental health issue. I don't know if he wanted to make our personal stuff public. Not me and him directly, personally, but it's like a circle of our friends, what we went through. You know what I mean?
I'm with all that, bro.
I was open to talk about it, but
we're gonna. With that being said, y'all know round 2.
That's something to look forward
to. Part 2 is gonna happen. Look forward to that.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into all that. But we like you said that. You said we were gonna end up.
Yeah, I told you. I already knew when we were setting up before the mics came on. I was like, oh yeah, we gonna have fun.
We're gonna even have no trouble at all because we was talking about like ain't nothing really happened this week, but it don't even matter.
It ain't have to. You know what I'm saying? Everything is organic. Everything is a flow.
But I did want to have that conversation. I did want to have that conversation openly because I felt like it was definitely a situation that other people going through, dealing with friends and dealing with being in different parts of your lives could definitely benefit from because, it did. I'm sure it bothered a lot of people a certain way. And definitely, I feel like we should talk about it.
Definitely.
We're going to get you guys back on. Before the season is over.
Yeah, definitely something I want to do, bro.
You okay with that?
I'm okay. Yeah, whatever.
We're going to have you guys back on to have that talk because we done ran our course. Dates. But we're going to, one time, we're going to introduce themselves out there, Instagrams.
Right, yeah.
Gram name, let them know everything
I know you already know my Instagram. But if you don't know who I am, man, follow me on Instagram at Najee Hannigan _ESA. For any of your credit needs or financial needs, or if you just need some free game or some motivation every day, I'm posting daily. You can follow me on that, John. And yeah, man, it's the big step of podcast, the podcast to be on. And definitely, we about to drop a podcast as well. And we definitely gonna have y'all on there. We definitely yeah. We've been supposed to drop for like 2 years there, but what we drop is gonna be crazy. And I definitely wanna we could definitely collaborate. I definitely want to see my podcast be successful, and I definitely want to be in a space where I'm growing with my brothers. So I definitely want to see y'all do y'all thing too.
Sounds good, man.
Yes, sir. And I'm I'm Ty on Instagram, known as Role Model Ty. Mental health, that's my focus. Real estate investments, business credit, personal credit, all of that.
Definitely, man. I just want to say one more time, I appreciate y'all for coming through, man. No doubt, great conversation is all love. You know me. I'm always the man in the middle. I ain't got no problems. But, we're going to end it on that See y'all
If
soon.
you watch it on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you for stepping with the steppers. We out.
Steppers.